Welcome on in to Sports Memo Today, a Thursday edition. Always look forward to these shows because typically that means you're going to get some Eric Pauly, some Matt Josephs, and me as an NFL junkie. It's an all NFL preview here for divisional round. We got some free plays for you, some props we're looking at. We have a side play, some player props, team totals, all of that. So we'll have you covered for betting the NFL action this weekend. I'm your host, Dan Alexander. Happy to be with you here on Customer Appreciation Day at both sportsmemo.com and wagertalk.com. All packages posted at the site right now from all of your favorite handicappers, just $11. That includes those 5% plays. One day all access packages also marked down $20. So that's from $39 down to $19. And that's going to run through midnight. So run, don't walk. We appreciate you tuning in and enjoying this free live content that we provide for you all week long here at Wager Talk TV and Sports Memo TV. So a little thank you to you. If you've never hopped in, you never rode with any of our handicappers before outside of the free content that we provide, best day to do it is today here on Customer Appreciation. And as I mentioned, my two guests going to make you feel appreciated because they have four free plays for you in the NFL coming today. And let's welcome in our first guest, Eric Pauly. You can find him sm.buzz/EP. And who's better to kick off an NFL edition of Sports Memo Today with the guy who is number one in units won in the NFL this season. And EP, Eric Pauly, we were talking before the show, man. That's even without any 5-star or 10-star plays. I mean, what a season you've put together. Has it continued into the playoffs too?
Yeah, so last week 3-3, but I hit on my 2-unit plays and missed on some 1-unit and 1.5-unit long shots. So a 3-unit winning weekend again this week. Just wanted to shout out all the customers of Sports Memo, not just my clients that roll with me every week, but everybody for helping support our brand. We truly appreciate it. And like Dan said, we love giving back. We love all of our customers. So if there is a time to take advantage of some of the things we have, I would look forward to that today as well.
Absolutely. Just $11. And actually, the $2 Tuesday play, Eric Pauly was the handicapper here at sportsmemo.com. One of three, that $2 Tuesday play, an NFL play that's still posted up at the site. So $11 if you want to ride with him today. You can go back, grab that $2 play for just $2, that play from Tuesday. So, Pauly, let's get into it. We promised these people actionable information in 30 minutes or less. So the sprint starts now, and it's NFL Saturday. First, kicking off the divisional round, it's the master versus the student. That's Andy Reid and the Chiefs. They're hosting Doug Peterson and the Jaguars, the home side, the 8.5-point chalk in this one. What do we think, Eric? Jags going to keep the magic going here, the comeback from last week, or is it time for a little letdown as they're facing off against a little step up from the AFC West there? How are you going to be betting this one?
I'm betting the chalk here. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs -8.5 in this game. I'm not sure how to I wouldn't go so far as say it was square like we were talking before the show. Probably the squarest, but yet hard to see how it loses. Teaser is teasing KC down to 2.5 and the Eagles down to 1.5. And just like that at -120, you have an advantage teaser of two big favorites, basically just winning outright with the key number of 3 taken care of. But I'm going with the Chiefs straight up with the normal spread in this matchup. These two teams met back in November. The Chiefs only won by 10, but they've actually won the last 5 meetings against Jaguars dating back the last couple of seasons. And while they've been a great story and that comeback was amazing, I just don't see how they go out and beat the Chiefs or even keep it too close in Arrowhead. I don't really put too much stock in Trevor Lawrence's interceptions. The way he bounced back in the second half, to me, is more of an indicator of how he is as a player than the 4 first-half picks. But in the game where the Chiefs beat the Jaguars earlier in the season, the Jaguars turned the Chiefs over 3 times and had an onside kick recovery in that game. So they stole 4 possessions. And that's not very Chiefs-like. I don't see that really happening in this matchup. The Chiefs gained 486 yards of offense the last time I played the Jaguars. Mahomes, 331 and 4 touchdowns with the pick and the fumble. But after the rest and going against, again, this abysmal pass defense, and now from a Jaguars perspective, you're not going against Brandon Staley and that terrible coaching that they have going on over there. You're going against a well-oiled machine that knows what to do in these situations. If there's one thing that gives me pause, it's the Chiefs' red zone defense, 31st in the NFL. So if the Jaguars do force turnovers and have short fields, Can they keep this game close? 100%. But Mahomes, again, that 331 the first time, the 486 yards of total offense, I think that is more likely to happen again this time. I think the Chiefs, with some market support, I mean, it opened 9.5, down to 8, down to 8, back to 8.5. Now some 9s out there too, even some 9.5s. I think just take the 8.5 and ride with the Chiefs this weekend.
Man, all I wish is that they had a prop on will a trick play be run in this one, because between Andy Reid and Doug Peterson, I would lay whatever the number is. I expect some razzle dazzle at some point coming out, but Eric Pauly thinking the home side laying the chalk 8.5. Maybe the way to look in that one. Let's move on over to Sunday. This will be the final game of the divisional round, and it figures to be a pretty damn good one. 6:30 is the kick when Dallas is a 4-point dog in San Francisco. The total in this one is around that 46 and a half, but you said forget the game total. I want to isolate one side here. So team total breakdown, little prop bet that Eric Pauly has for you. Which team are you eyeing to go over that team total?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the 49ers to go over their team total of 24.5. On Tuesday, I was on Wager Talk Today, and I talked about why I liked the Niners minus the 3.5 in the first place. Then just before the show, I recorded my Better's Almanac pod with Moneyline Matt Kowalas of SportsMemo as well, and he was leaning toward the Cowboys, and he's a very sharp mind, so when him and I aren't on the same page, always makes me reconsider. But an angle I would look at is at the Niners team total over 24.5. Like you just said, Dan, the total in this game is sitting like 46. So I think that the Niners are the team to kind of take that total around to the over and put up to 24.5 points. Now, Brock Purdy, there's a lot to talk about from his first game of the postseason, right? He had a pretty horrible first half, and his stats look really great, but a lot of that was inflated due to yards after the catch. And while some people will see that and be like, that's already a big, kind of red flag for Purdy moving forward, well, I don't disagree. That is literally what this 49ers offense has been created around, is players with the ability to create yards after the catch. McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and co. So the Dallas Cowboys defense, number 2 in defensive DVOA, but I went on the record and said on Tuesday that this defense is slightly overrated, and I think that this is a spot where Purdy and the offense have the edge. Kyle Shanahan, better head coach than McCarthy, better OC than Kellen Moore, combined times 10. Defensively, I do have a lot of respect for Dan Quinn and what he does, but I think D'Amico Ryans clearly has done an amazing job with this Niners defense. Dak had a little bit of a turnover bug, so if the Niners can force some turnovers and convert on them like they did against Smith in Seattle, I could see the Niners going over this total, and I do think they win this game outright. But I think if there's way to go against this game, instead of worrying about the 3.5 hook, I would just lean toward the Niners team total over 24.5 in this divisional round matchup.
Love to see it going over the team total for the 49ers. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who wins the game. You just want to see some points coming from the San Francisco 49ers. Also looking at the Chiefs laying the chalk against the Jags. Eric, we mentioned number 1 in units gained in the NFL this season. When people head on over here for Customer Appreciation Day, over to sm.buzz/EP, what kind of stuff are they going to find over there, and how can they become a client and ride with the most profitable handicapper in the NFL at the site?
Yeah, so right now, again, shout out to Customer Appreciation Day. Shout out to all the customers that support all of the handicappers at Wager Talk and on SportsMemo. My $2 Tuesday play, I was fortunate enough to be a featured capper, is up for, again, $2. That is a play in one of these 4 divisional games. I'm not going to spoil that for you. You can take a look there. I also have one more play locked in for this card. Looking probably pretty low volume. I've made this point on the show before that the playoff lines, props included, become a lot more sharper and more efficient during this time as the bookmakers kind of hone in on these matchups. So in terms of volume, never going to be too much moving forward, as we only have 7 football games total left this year, which blows my mind. But right now, $2 Tuesday play is up. And I'd also even recommend taking advantage of this all access for this customer appreciation to get my other play that I have locked in for the NFL this weekend.
And that's Eric Pauly. So $13 can get you all of that action here on Customer Appreciation Day. Big thanks to EP. Best of luck coming this weekend for you. And even though he was wearing the Washington hat, I know deep down he's hoping that my Eagles can at least get the outright win, right? I won't even ask him. That's what we're gonna live with. Another guy who knows the NFC East just as well as any capper out there is our second guest here, last one up on the show, Matt Josephs. You can find him sm.buzz/MJ. Matt, the shirt is perfect. No one likes us, and we don't care. Let's just get that win here on Saturday, a game that I'm going to be going to. So I'll bring the ruckus for us, Matt. Don't worry, man.
Yeah, certainly do that. I don't think it'll be an issue, a Saturday night game in Philadelphia. I think there will not be any issue with the atmosphere for that one.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're right. I saw a story today saying that there was going to be a group of tailgaters partying at like that Xfinity Live, and it's like a Giants tailgate that's going there. So Xfinity Live probably just became Saturday Night SmackDown. I'll be glad that I will not be in there, Matt. I'll be inside the link, hopefully enjoying a Philadelphia Eagles win. Let's get right into it, and then we'll talk about what you have up over for this weekend for the NFL Divisional Round. 2 pairs of receiver props. This is something you always do terrific on throughout the season. So let's look at Saturday, 4:30. We talked about that Jags-Chiefs game with Eric, but as I mentioned, you want to look towards a receiver prop and one of Trevor Lawrence's favorite guys. Where are we going in the first game of Divisional Round weekend?
Yeah, I'm looking at Christian Kirk. I'm actually probably going to do a unit each on his over on his receptions and over on his yards. But quite simply, you look at Trent McDuffie. He's become the Kansas City slot guy the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's allowing a 66.7% catch rate and a 103.2 passer rating over that span. Kirk has gone over the 5.5 receptions 10 times this season. He had 9 against the Chiefs earlier in November of 13th. And then for the receiving yards also, he's gone over that number 10 times, and he had 105 yards against Kansas City. So we're looking to split the thing here, 1 unit on each of them. The best bet for the show, of course, is the receptions here. The one worry that we'll kind of watch for as we get closer, snow and rain in the forecast for the game. It is Thursday when we're doing this. So obviously the weather can change a little bit. And if there's a little more snow or a little more rain, maybe you want to lean more towards the receptions than the yards, but that's something we can certainly look at. I'm playing both of them, but the best bet on the show is the over on the receptions for Christian Kirk.
Yeah, and Matt, let's be real. Did Doug Peterson ever look down at the play sheet and not want to pass the ball? So rain, shine, doesn't matter. Doug Peterson wants to be slanging the rock around. Let's swing to this primetime game, the one that I just mentioned. I'll be bringing the noise for you and me, Matt. Hopefully we'll be talking next week about some more Eagles props that we can potentially get in. But I need something to bet in this Eagles and Giants game because my heart cannot take betting either side. My heart will already be in full palpitations and full throws up in section 205. So I need something to bet on. When I can't do it, I need to look towards the prop side of things. So I know you got something for me. What am I betting this Saturday?
Yeah, we're looking at the tight end, Dallas Goedert. I think the Eagles kind of have, brought him in, reined him in a little bit these last couple weeks. Obviously, when Gardner Minshew was in there, they didn't show a lot. And that last game against the Giants, they certainly weren't going to show a lot with Dallas Goedert in there and a banged-up Jalen Hurts. So I think they're going to unleash him and just go back to the last game we just saw. I mean, TJ Hawkinson went nuts against the Giants. And so once again, much like Christian Kirk, we're going to split it. We're going to put a unit on the receptions over. We're going to put a unit on the receiving yards over. And, Goedert had 6 receptions against the Giants. Granted, most of them were shorter. You look at TJ Hawkinson, that other game in the regular season between the two, he had 23 receptions against the Giants. Mark Andrews went over this number. So clearly when you target the tight end or when the tight end is a focal part of your offense, they find the ball quite a bit here. Adoree Jackson returning for the Giants means maybe it'll be a little hard to get the ball to A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith. So I think we look to the old security blanket here in Dallas Goedert. A unit on the receptions over, a unit on the receiving yards over as well.
Love to see it. Dallas Goedert going over, and I love hearing that breakdown from Matt Josephs because that yardage over was one I already hit. So now I'll just throw the receptions over and be the biggest Dallas Goedert fan this side of the Mississippi on Saturday. So Matt, when people head on over, we mentioned this customer appreciation deal. It's a great time to give you guys a try. If people haven't ever purchased picks before, they've never maybe tried out the different handicappers at Wager Talk, just $11, including 5% plays that are posted. So you have anything that people can find tonight, either on the hardwood or looking forward to NFL action this weekend?
Yeah, I guess it's a bad day to not like anything in college basketball. It just wasn't a card that lined up. Some things moved out of the way. Some things that I liked moved overnight, so I wasn't able to get in on the best number, and I usually try and get the best number. So unfortunately, I completely passed on college basketball tonight, but we'll have some more props up for this weekend, hopefully by the end of the day, so you can certainly take advantage of it. I was the $2 handicapper, and then that number moved a bunch of points, so we had to take that down. So it's been that kind of week for me. I hope it's a good thing. That means it's a good thing. So certainly certainly you can check out my page anytime at sportsmemo.com.
Well, and I also think for what it's worth, and to Matt's credit there, having to pull down a package because of a line moving so rapidly is a great reasoning of why you should grab these guys long-term, hop in on these long-term packages, because then the second these plays are loaded, you get them. You don't have to worry about the line moving and then being 5 points off market. And is this play still have the parameters on it? Just grab that all access and you'll never miss a play from Matt Josephs as he's moving the market. And again, all packages, $11, 5% plays included. You can also get that 1 day all access. That's down from $39 to under $20. Just $19 gets you locked in on every release from your favorite handicapper. It's our thanks to you. And if you want to thank us outside of heading on over there, grabbing those terrific deals, just throw us a like, hit subscribe so you never miss any of our great shows here at Wager Talk TV or Sports Memo TV. And that's a great way to thank us. Hop below in the comments. You agree, you disagree. What's your best bet for this weekend in NFL Divisional Round action? That's going to do it for us. Big thanks to Eric Pauly. Big thanks to Matt Josephs. And of course, Eric doing a terrific job behind the scenes. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and we'll be back here on Tuesday, hopefully with a little more money in our pocket right here on Sports Memo Today.